Okay, I've just realised. So we have to talk about this episode. So I'm going to talk about this episode of, no, it's not Touched by an Angel. What was the show that, Highway to Heaven with Michael Langdon?
Welcome back to Chip Lunch Podcast. We're back again here, of course, with Nikki Cousins. And the cliffhanger we left last episode on was you said Highway to Heaven.
Now, there's a couple of things that we need to talk about. First of all,
we need to clarify.
We need to clarify. First of all, people of a certain age will instantly know this show. When did the show come out, Braden?
1984.
And Braden, can you please refresh us? When were you born?
1995. Hudson, what year were you born?
Well, that
2005.
It doesn't count. Hudson doesn't count. You count. You're gorgeous and I adore you, but no. And sir, when were you born?
1986.
Oh, I'm so old. Anyway,
Yes,
so
you were 48 last week.
I was 48 last week. Now I'm 48 and a week. Haven't aged a day. Haven't aged
Haven't
a
changed.
minute.
You look great. You wear same clothes too today.
Yeah, well, it's Friday Fit.
I'm Friday Fit. Yeah,
Friday
this is
Fit.
I have one outfit on a Friday. It's this. So anyway, Highway to Heaven was the precursor to Touched by an Angel, which you probably do know.
Kind of.
So anyway, Michael Langdon is an angel from God.
Okay.
And he is sent to do God's work.
Oh, this is like, there's that movie called Michael, isn't it? It's John Travolta.
Yes.
Is it similar?
But
That's
it's an episodic, and so every week he gets a message from God to say you need to.
Oh, you need to do this, yes.
And to give context, I'm away, I can't sleep, put the television on, I'm like, I'll watch.
Where are you?
I'm in London.
Oh, I'm in London. I can't sleep.
I'm in London.
I'm jet lagged.
And I'm like, I just, call up William and I'm like, William, darling, I can't sleep. And he's like, guys.
I'll get Sebastian down.
I'll get Sebastian. He's painting.
He'll paint a picture of you watching.
So I come in late to this episode, but what I can understand is this, that there is a young girl who is of a fuller figure nature. She's probably size 12 tops.
Okay.
But the theme of this show is that she's trying to find friends at college. She helps the jock with his algebra.
Oh, of course.
The jock has a girlfriend. Anyway, so the mean girls all decide they're going to play a prank. They're like, we want you to be in our friend group and we want to initiate you. And she's like, okay. And then the mum's like, so she's like, gets in this dress. She looks great. And the mum's like, she's like, Mum, I've been on a diet. I've lost like 5 pounds. And the mum's like, yeah, but girl, how many times have you lost 5 pounds? Like, I don't care. She gets to the party and they're like, we're going to initiate you. We're all going to get in the pool. And she's like, really? Do I have to? Like, I don't want to, I don't really like water or swimsuits. And like, no, get in this swimsuit. So they put her in this swimsuit and then they throw her into this room where the jock is and she starts screaming. Like, it's like trauma. She starts screaming and she's like, banging the door. She's like, let me out. And this guy's like, what is going on? He's just like standing there. Anyway, so they let her out. She runs and she goes to the donut shop to eat her feelings, which I get it. And so, there must have been a scene beforehand with the donut guy because the donut guy knew a lot about her. Because she gets there and she's like, I'll have one of everything. And he's like, but Diane, you said you're on a diet. She's like, not anymore. Everyone likes the fat, funny person, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay. So anyway, she gets into the car park and...
So ridiculous.
It gets so much worse. And he's like... And so they ring Michael Langdon because he's like, my job's done. She's got friends. And then God rings and says, actually, there's been a slight wrinkle. But just know that this... So he's like, meets her in the car park and she's like, I had a great time with Gary, whatever his name is. And he's like, I know you didn't. And you know what? You really need to look after yourself. So the whole purpose of this episode was that God doesn't love fatties. He wants you to be thin.
Oh, gosh.
And fit. Then, but the worst, I forgot what, anyway, but then it ends with, this is the worst. So that would have been a good end, right? He's like, you know, and she's like, yes, I'm going to make myself healthy. Great, like not problematic. But anyway, she then meets up with the jock and he's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know about that. Like, I swear to you, I wasn't part of the prank. And she's like, yes, you were. He's like, I really wasn't, I didn't know. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm just like fat and ugly. And he's like, he just goes like this, so lose weight. and he goes, then she's like she hadn't thought of that before. And he goes, listen, you help me with algebra and I'll help you lose weight. And he's like, imagine how at the end of the year, imagine how smart I'll be and how skinny you'll be. End of story.
Wow.
Described on IMDb as edifying, magical, and earnest.
And what's the last one?
Earnest.
Probationary.
So the moral of the story is that God provides.
Trauma.
38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
He's doing this was God wanted her to know. Don't eat all the donuts in the. and I want to say the chemistry between Donut Guy and her. That's where that was the story I wanted to know about.
That's the relationship.
Anyway, it's on my TikTok. It's two-parter. I was watching it in real time and just being like, "This is the 80s were wild. You wouldn't know. You weren't born. You weren't born. You were just born."
Yeah.
Got no hope for you, but
not even a twinkle in your father's eye.
Yeah.
Chaotic.
I do love
feel like,
bad TV shows. Like it's why you watch a Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah.
It's for comedy. Even though it's an action, it's for comedy.
It's just I love those Hallmark movies.
Oh, yeah. I like the clips of them where they take it out of context.
Yes.
And the one where, have you seen the one where it's like, you can't go off washing elephants in Thailand without saying goodbye. I said it to Ethan and just quote it all the time.
But there's a new thing now, and it's on the TikTok. Download the app.
I feel like this is just one big ad for TikTok
yeah.
so far.
But there are these things called verticals, and they're like episodic romance snippet things, and the acting is so bad. But you also cannot look away. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and they're everywhere. Like they're on YouTube too. And like, it was my secret shame. And then I was.
It's no longer a secret.
It's not a secret anymore. But I was talking to a friend. She's like, oh yeah, like I couldn't sleep last night. And then I just like got on the phone and then I got obsessed with this like thing called Breaking the Ice. I'm like, oh my gosh, let's talk about it. It's just like, yeah.
So hang on, these are short kind of clips that go for like however many minutes.
Yes. So you
and it's like a Mills
it's like
and
a
Boon.
like a web series, but you
digital Mills and Boon.
Yes, but you buy the app, so you watch it on the app, and so the first one's free, and then you want to watch.
Have you bought the app?
No, I have not bought the app. I have seriously considered it, but I told you I'm in a dark place. Mm-hmm. But thankfully, I also don't have an income, so I can't buy the app. So, yeah, they're so bad, and they're called like the billionaire's lost heiress.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like
Cleaning
Bold and
lady.
the Beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 100% Mills and Boon kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like
And
yeah. What is it like? Lost in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
That's because our phones listen to us.
Yeah.
They will
I look
pop-
forward to the ads.
But they just like, you can't look away. So, touch button. So, Highway to Heaven, problematic, as was Michael Langdon. He was not a nice man, but he plays an angel. And then Touched by an Angel.
I don't know who Michael Langdon is.
He was on Little House of the Prairie. I'm so old.
Touched by an Angel was 1994.
Here's another
9 seasons, wow.
Touched by an Angel, her husband, the angel's husband, creator of Survivor.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He would be worth a lot of money then.
He would be a lot worth the money.
This dude?
What?
Is that Michael Langdon? No.
No, that's not Michael
Who's
Langdon.
that?
I don't know. It's a guy called Michael Langdon.
That dude.
Hey,
I'd assume he's the angel is the attractive dude. Not the dude
well,
with the beard.
Yeah.
And not the dude with the beard.
No, not the dude with the He's like his sidekick.
Yeah, it says joins forces with an ex-policeman, Mark Gordon, to assist individuals in distress.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think maybe, I think you should do a watch along.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Many
this
seasons?
this
5 seasons.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, what should I do for a new job? I did like working in tech, but yeah, tech doesn't like me.
Tech doesn't like
work for
working
you.
with me.
But what other person would look the CEO dead in the eye and be like, "Do not fire me"? And he's like, "Wrong energy."
He's like,
Yeah.
whoops.
"You're gone." That did make me laugh.
Oh, the person I just showed you is Cody Fern,
Who's Cody Fern?
which apparently is in American Horror Story.
Oh. There's
You
too much
looking
TV
untouched by
now.
an
There's
angel?
too much TV.
There's
No,
so
I was looking
much.
at Michael Langdon.
But also nothing. It's a weird kind of.
You're so right.
There's another Michael Langdon.
There's nothing whenever I go to watch something, but then it feels like. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
what is your comfort watch?
What is
Now,
my comfort? It changes.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right.
I can say like in the past, like by comfort watch, I'm taking it as something I can sit down with Beck and turn our brains off completely and just go, that was fun, and
Yeah.
then move on with our lives
Yeah.
without having to think
Yeah.
too much or too deeply about anything.
Yes.
I'd say Brooklyn Nine-Nine for Karen and I.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say it used to be Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It has been New Girl previously,
Okay.
stuff like that. Scrubs is a favorite of mine.
I can't do
that we've
too
gone
much
back
of that.
to. I can't watch Friends anymore. It just annoys me too much.
Okay.
At the moment, we're watching a lot of Dropout TV, which is like a comedy kind of has its own streaming service, but they get like people who are really good at improv comedy on, and they do
Oh,
stuff like
excellent.
that. And so we've been watching that for a couple of months. But yeah, I think we generally like, unless we're like sitting down to watch a movie, I think it's fun to have a show where you can just like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know let's just flick something on. You like
Yeah.
can relax a little bit and not have to. I don't know, shows like Breaking Bad or stuff like that where you like watch an episode, you're like, oh,
And
like
you
it's
need-
good, but I don't want to have to like reconsider my life choices after watching something every time. You know what I mean?
And also, like, you have to like remember the 4 episodes previous and the
Yeah.
one little bit of detail, and it's like then the next subplot for the next 27 episodes.
And that's good if you're in the mood for that. But I don't know, I found myself in the mood for it less.
yeah.
I actually relax more when it's something engaging. Like I want to be interested and engaged. For some reason, a lot of the time, that will actually relax me more
Okay.
rather than this sucks. Like I just get more annoyed at the show. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is just funny,
Yeah.
but some of the shows that Karen watches, I'm just like, this is so crap. This is really bad. Don't make me watch any of this. She's
Yeah. But
watching one right now called The Rookie, which is on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
It's like people that are new cops in the LAPD.
yeah.
They get in a gunfight every single episode. You're like, what kind of police like area are you actually in?
But isn't it? But Nathan Fillion's in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why she started watching it because
Okay.
she likes. Is he Bones? No, he's Castle.
Castle.
He's Castle.
from
Yeah.
Castle.
Yeah.
Hudson's got something to say about The Rookie
Yeah.
though.
I've been binge watching it recently. I think I've got to almost season 3 in a week or two.
Of The Rookie,
Yeah.
I thought there was only one season.
No,
but
there's like 5.
No, there's heaps.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
is
great.
there?
Mm.
Would recommend.
Oh, I don't recommend.
Recommendation
But
from
anyway,
Hudson.
So
the acting is terrible too in that show. Sorry,
It's American episodic TV. what do you
yeah.
expect?
But
I've watched American episodic TV where the acting's not terrible. You and I have talked about The Bear before. The acting in that is
but
really
again,
good.
that's like an intensity level where,
yeah.
like, I enjoy it, but
is
then
a
at the
hot-
same time, it's like I just got yelled at for an hour.
That is a high intensity
Yeah.
show.
I
do
couldn't-
think you need to have a break from that show.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't
I
watch
couldn't
each
watch that
episode.
show.
But that's not like, I don't know, like The Rookie reminds me of the American TV when I was growing up. That was on Channel 9 or Channel 7, whatever,
Yes.
where it's like completely one episode, one thing happens.
Yeah.
Maybe something important will happen in the first episode of the season and the last episode of
Yeah.
the season.
Hmm.
Other than that, it's just
Like
like, what
Bones
happened
is
this
like
week.
that.
Yeah.
But so one of the times where I lost my job, I got hyper fixated on the show Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
But what I found really interesting, again, as you like go through the seasons, and if we want to bring it back to like what you surround yourself with is then becomes your normal. So this show, it starts off, he's like a billionaire playboy, and he's also really good at like shooting an arrow.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of hence
It's like
the name Arrow.
discount Batman.
Yeah,
Discount
yeah,
arrows.
yeah. Which also, can we talk about like how do they get those arrows back? It's a very inefficient
Oh, yeah.
form of
Shooting people.
Shooting people. Like, anyway. So at the beginning, he's like...
So again, this is my point. I wouldn't watch that.
But I don't know. For some reason, just really... I was, again, in a dark place. And so I was like, you know what's going to lift me? Arrows.
Stephen Amell shooting people with arrows.
Yeah, maybe it was a bit of that. And so, but at the beginning, he's just like a normal archer and blah, blah, blah. By season 4, he's like shooting nuclear grade ballistic weapons out of it. And I go, tracks. Like it just... the reality you immerse yourself in is the reality you accept.
Yes.
And so by the time, like, it got so, like, then I think in season 7 there was like alternate reality. Like when you start having alternate realities and like he comes back as the bad Arrow and it's like the Flash appears, but it's not the Flash from the TV show or
because
the movie.
I just saw it's a DC Comics.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you enjoy like deep diving into something, getting obsessed for a couple of weeks and then like moving on to something else? Yeah.
Yes.
This is
Because
my
I'm a
life.
48-year-old woman with undiagnosed ADHD. We all are.
Yes.
We're all 48-year-old women
It will happen.
at
Yes.
some point.
The other one was Buffy.
Oh yeah.
For me.
I've never gone there, but I have friends who
Chris
very
Stevens.
much love it.
Yeah. So I go to the conventions and everything.
Oh yeah.
Don't dress up.
Yeah.
It's my line in the sand.
So are you telling us not to dress up, or
No. I don't dress
it'll
up.
take away from your outfit?
Yeah. No. I have been known to go to a sci-fi convention or 5. So
Right.
the people. I mean, even if you don't like, here's a fun. Just go for the people watching.
Yeah.
There's nothing more joyous to me than seeing people love what they love
Yeah.
unabashedly.
Yeah.
We're so kind of like ashamed of our
Jaded.
joy, like
Yeah.
or jaded and being like, oh, yeah, I guess I like this thing. It's like not that cool. And they're just like, no, guess what?
I love this.
I love this and I'm dressing up.
I can get on board with
And
that.
it's such a happy place of like people just being, themselves.
Yeah.
And I find whatever it is, even if it's something I can't relate to, I will always listen to someone talk passionately about something because I'm interested in what is that thing that you love that I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and there's something really engaging about like the way that they're expressing themselves in that way.
Oh, but because they are being themselves, maybe, or
Yeah, and just like it's cool to see people get excited about stuff. That gets you excited. And it might not necessarily be excited about the thing they're excited about, but
And I think, so I was telling a story last night. So back when they had the really bad bushfires down the coast and we were...
you were kind of trapped.
We were
there, weren't
trapped there, right? And so this idyllic coastal town basically became like Bankstown Airport. Like it was choppers and it was the whole thing. It was just planes and everything everywhere. And we were walking down the hill and this young man was walking up and he knew, and he's like, oh, hello, Tara. She was like, hello. And I said, oh, hello. What? He said, did you see the fixed wing? So he was a plane nerd. He loved planes. And he was having the best holiday of his life. Yeah. He's like, did you see the fixed wing twin engine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I did not. Tell me about it. He's like, oh, and it's this and that. And I said to him, mate, are you having the best holiday? He's like, yes. I'm like, well, at least someone is. Yeah. And in those moments where I'm like, I think I'm going to die today, I go, well, you know what? At least Tara's mate's having a good holiday. And when I tell you the planes and it did not, like, it was 24/7. It was just like, I mean, that in and of itself was just like such a crazy. Have we talked about that whole thing of those fires?
I can't remember.
No,
if we
I
did
think
last
the first
or not.
episode was like ages ago. So
yeah.
like,
Anyway, I will tell you a funny
one of
story.
those.
So the bad fire came in on the and this will give you an insight into our marriage. Bad fire happened on New Year's Eve.
It's 2019,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
so it was right. Like, again, let's talk about callback. You go, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me, and then COVID happened. We're like, oh, well, nothing's going to top the bushfires, and then COVID was like, actually, hold my coffee. I've got something for you.
Oh, you couldn't say beer.
And so, so we were at the beach. Everyone's having a great time. Cuz looks up, and he's like, we need to go back to the camp. And I go, why? It's fine. It's like way over there. And he's like, no. we need to go back to the camp. And then we go back to the camp and like doomsday preppers, he's like, everyone get a bag, put on natural fibers, fill all the water containers. And in my brain and heart, I was like, you are overreacting. Like, I'll do it because I love you. But this is an overreaction. And 2 days later, I said to him, I have to apologise to you. I said, I thought you were overreacting, but you were actually very wise. And he was like, you didn't say anything. I go, no, but it was a big enough, like I couldn't have not said anything and just like held that apology in. But I was like, no, you were right. And
I have a question. What does natural fibers look like?
So it's cotton and jeans. So not synthetic, because if you get burnt, it sticks to your skin.
It's polyester.
Smelts,
Yeah. So no active wear, guys. In the fires, no
there you
active
go.
wear.
No active wear.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have any natural fibers, or was it all okay? So I imagine like a lot of your holiday wear is sparkly.
Yeah, I wear
Okay.
a lot of sparkles to the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, sparkly cosy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, we just had it all packed, and then we had to drive out. And again, I think it's really interesting you talk about like being normal in a state of chaos. And so I drove out before so we had 2 cars. So I took the kids out because I was like, you just get out of here. And I'll leave later. And so I had Luca in the front seat, Tara in the back, and Lani in the back. Lani's reading a book. Tara's got one of those face masks on. And I've got Luca next to me. And so my dad's a tree lopper. He's also in the RFS.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah.
And so, and he was fighting the fires as well. So he, like, literally just before I left, he pulled up the truck and we hugged. People thought I had a weird fireman fetish. I was like, no, this is my dad. Everyone, this is my dad. They're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But he would tell me about these things called widow makers, which are basically the trees that are standing, they burn out and then they just drop with no warning. So we were driving through and we were told you can't go over 20. Like there was a hot, because it was literally active fire.
Yep.
Either side of us. And we kept getting stopped because when the cars pass, they cause wind that whips up the fire. So that's why you have to go slow. And anyway, I just remember kept saying to Luca, because we'd have to stop, and all I can see are these trees. And I go, does that look like it's going to fall? Do you think that's going to fall? I don't think it's going to fall, Mum. Like, as if he would.
Yeah, it's like, what's he meant to say to that comment? Like, yeah, actually, I think we're about to die.
I think we're about to die, Mum. And so we were told, you can't get out of the car. You can't do it. Anyway, we stop, and the guy in the car in front of us gets out and goes to the toilet. And so for the rest of the thing, I go, what's with Gary Smallbladder? We just think call this guy Gary Smallbladder.
Gary Smallbladder.
And but again, in those moments of like chaos, like we just kept really calm. I mean, I was panicking about these trees, and just like we had music on, and I'm saying to Luca, how far? And then I talk about Gary Smallbladder busting, go to the toilet, busting. And so the first service station, but there was still smoke. And Luca's like, stop here. I go, no, I need to stop somewhere that I'm not going to, because we had been like trapped for days. I was like, no, I need to go somewhere that's like, I know I can leave. Like, I'm not going to be trapped at a service station in the, but good old Gary Smallbladder. Yeah.
Just, I think we kind of got off track even from last episode.
Yeah.
But we were talking about like you've lost your job a couple of times and what God was teaching you. I think it was my fault talking about the dogs.
Sebastian's and Socks, the horse.
Yeah, Sebastian's painting. Do you want to just go back to that? And
yeah.
say, like, what do you think God is teaching you? Well, you can't figure it out just yet.
No, I can't. I think in the short term, it's like He's in control. That I don't actually have control of anything. I had this big plan. I was up for promotion. I was being moved into a global org. I was going to head up the digital events program for our company globally. Like, I had a whole plan. And with one email, it just went.
Yeah.
And
just like taken away from you, right?
Yeah. And I'm probably embarrassed that it affected me so badly, because you would think as a Christian that I should just be like, I know that's not the right, but do you know, it's kind of
But
like,
it's like it's a massive form of rejection. Like I've been made redundant,
yeah,
and I knew it was coming,
yeah.
and even then I'm like, oh,
And it's the
I'm not
betrayal.
wanted.
It's the betrayal, because the people that are like, and I get that I've never heard a great redundancy story. If there's one, please send it in, like and subscribe. But there's this dehumanizing process of it, and they just treat you like it. And it's actually a corporatized way of gaslighting people, because one day they're like, you're part of our family, you're this, you're great, and then the next day they're like, actually, you are not part of our family.
You are not optimal.
you are not optimizing.
Yeah.
And so you get whiplash when it's like, well, what is true?
Right.
And so I guess the truth is that we're not in control of anything. God's in control. And your plans aren't always his. And that's comforting. It's also scary.
Yeah.
Because it's I mean, a bit of a, not a come to Jesus moment, but a bit of a grounding of like, hey, you're not in control here. And I think I was talking to my friend about it yesterday, like the fall, like when you kind of like, falling away is not the right word, but like it's like picking a sticker around the edges.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And I think complacency and comfort and control of our lives is like we're picking the side of a sticker, and you don't realise when it's all gone. Does that make? I've realised halfway through that's
It hasn't
not a
been
good
ripped
analogy.
off. Like
Yeah, and so I think sometimes with our faith that it's the stuff around the edges that it goes in little increments, and then you don't realise again. You normalise everything, and it's like, I've got a job, I'm in control of this and that, and it's very important because in the moment it is, but it's actually not. And so I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about is like, why did it affect me so badly? And some of it's the betrayal, some of it's the rejection, 100%. But I think a big part of it is like, oh yeah, I'm not in control of anything. And that's scary, but also comforting. And I think that combined with the accident really, really brought that home. And so again, there's a part of you that goes, oh wow, God really needed to like hit me over the head with that. So I better listen and learn. And that's humbling.
I was just saying, what do you think you'll do differently as a result of that?
I don't know. I hope a lot. But again, I don't know I don't know whether it's intrinsically a part of me that I can't override. So if it is, so say for example, whatever I do at 150%, then I need to look at what I do. So instead of putting 150% into work, I need to put 150% into my family, relationships, my relationship with God, serving him. Like that's, so if I can't override that part of me, then I need to make sure that the 150% is directed in the right way. Because when I directed it that way, what's the outcome? Like I think about it, I miss so much I was away so much this year, and I made a joke about like I missed concerts, I missed key moments of for what, right? And I have to grapple with that. That's a decision I made. I can't take it back. But I think the lesson is, do I make that decision again?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would like to think that I will make better decisions. But I'm also sinful, and I'm also like, so I really want to try and learn the lesson. and hopefully I will. But I don't know. Like, I'm being really honest. I don't know because it's just so easy to get swept back up again, right?
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm always going to be this. And then you're like, oh, well, that kind of flew by, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, I know it was my birthday last week. I am closer to 60 than I am to 20. That's a reality. I mean, I act like I'm 20, but I'm closer to 60 than I am to 20. I've got to learn these lessons now and live now because I'm closer to 60 than I am to 20. So I've got to start making some better, not that I made bad decisions, but again, you just kind of go with it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like you're like, oh, I'm actively going to choose this over this. Like, it wasn't like you sat down at a scale and went, oh, that's like, it just, that's the way things play out. And you only really see that upon reflection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I was working towards this goal of this global role. And I sacrificed a lot to get to the thing. And I think that's what I've learned about myself is that I'm like, when I get to the thing, then XYZ.
Yeah.
And what I need to know is the thing is now.
Yeah.
So is it falling in love with the process rather than the outcome?
Maybe. I also think it's just about being present.
Okay.
And not wishing away the time or the wherever you are, be there.
Yeah.
So that outcome is, and you're focusing on that, is taking you away from being present. Right.
And you make choices in the present about the future.
Yeah.
Rather than just kind of being present.
I think I've had that conversation a lot with a few people recently about are you just spending this stage of your life just waiting for the next stage? Like, I wish I was at this point. It's like, yeah, but you're never going to be at this point again. Like, you try and, like, even if this point isn't going to be as good in your head as this next point is going to be, try and enjoy it a little. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's a conversation I've had a few times recently where, yeah, like it might be better in the future, but that doesn't mean now just needs to suck until you're there. Because guess what? Like, when you get there, there's going to be something else that you're going to need to do.
And I think we're so busy and just there's so many distractions that take us away from being in the moment that we actually have to actively stop and be like, I'm here, take this in. I might not be here again. Like, so as I said before, I do a lot of traveling. So I travel for work and it sounds amazing, but you see the airport, the hotel room, the conference room in the airport and you leave. And so I tried to actively, so I've been to some cool places. So like when I went to the UK, I had like a couple of hours before my flight left. I got on a hop off bus. So I could at least say I saw Big Ben. Like we did, but what was really cool about it was, so fun fact about me, my great grandfather was Winston Churchill's bodyguard. And you can see him in like archival footage, and he was there when he was also Chamberlain's bodyguard. So he was there on the tarmac reading the thing from Hitler.
Oh yeah.
So where I ended up on this bus was around the corner was Winston Churchill's pub that he went, like it's called the Churchill Arms. And so I went there and had like, you know, whereas if I was busy kind of being like, oh, all right, I have to get to the airport. Did the same thing when I was in India, did like a walking tour of the markets and things. And so I'm trying to do that, but I need to do it on a bigger scale and really learn the lesson. And that's what I've been made to stop for a reason. So that's...
Yeah, so there's this is related. There's a YouTuber I like called Ali Abdaal, and he's like written a book called Feel Good Productivity. But he talks about, he's like, if you set goals but write them down and then say, while enjoying every step along the way, like at the end of every goal. And I've found that that's quite helpful, and it actually makes you be more present and enjoy the process of getting to the goal or the outcome. In the long term. Yeah, it's really, really quite cool. But because we always think, I think if you're thinking that way of focusing on the outcome all the time, when anything goes wrong in between that, you're like, oh, it's so hard. Like this is making it so hard. But I think if you're like, if I'm enjoying the process, This is along the way, and therefore you don't put as much importance on the outcome. You put it more on like how you're getting towards whatever the outcome is.
That's a good reframe. I like that. Enjoying the process.
Yeah, enjoying it every step along the way kind of thing is pretty cool. But the other thing is that I would say that, like, talking about being present, we talked about the incident at Yarrawarra. You were very present along with everyone else there as well. So maybe it's in day-to-day life rather than like events or moments like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just being about being present and just recognizing the truth of your existence, which is I'm not in control. God's in control. How do I live in light of that? How does that affect my relationships? How does that affect how I see myself? And probably in the busyness, I've lost sight of that a bit. So I need to recalibrate that, which is good. It's a lot, but and I think the great thing about all of this is, I go back to the thing that scares you is also the thing that comforts you, which is God's in control. So whatever happens, like, it's going to be okay. Like and look, really, I'm great. It's my birthday last week. I have a great family. I have great kids. I have my great relationship with I've so many great things in my life. This is just one thing that's just been taken away. It's kind of knocked me down. And as Chumbawamba famously said, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. That should be a song that they do in a lyrical format. Could you imagine?
I get knocked down,
but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. I take a whiskey drink. And then the children all are at a bar. No, it's writing itself. This choreography is writing itself.
I was going to say, it's your next job, choreographer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
For music, what is it? Musical
theatre?
Rollerblades, black.
The best one I saw was a Titanic reenactment. And they rolled out a gold painted... No, wait, it gets worse. It gets better, but it gets worse. They roll out a bed head that they've painted gold.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's the door, right? And the girl hangs on the door, but she's standing up, but it looks like she's hanging on the door. Jack, who...
So it's not even like a Titanic. No, it's like a reenactment of the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Jack comes out and taken some... lot of creative liberty, is only wearing white jeans that are ripped at so he died of hypothermia of the upper body because he had no shirt on. There's also a recurring theme with boys that dance in these things. Anyway, it starts and it's the scene. Jack, stay with me, Jack. And that's how the dance starts. Guess what the song was called? You won't guess, I'll tell you. Dead in the Water, 10 out of 10. Winner. Dead in the water. I know. So I will tell you, for that dance, I did not crochet a stitch. I was, and that's when I knew I wasn't a dance mom, because I was laughing my head. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever said. I turn to one of the other dancers. She's like, I love this dance. Every time it gets me. And I'm not even going to, every time it gets me, I go, you've seen this before and you didn't warn me? And then that was followed up by a very, and I mean timely, lyrical, it was a contemporary dance, and it was done to a spoken word poem about 9/11.
Oh.
There was an 11-year-old girl going, I was there when the tower fell. I'm like, you weren't even born,
You weren't
girl.
born.
That's why I crochet, so I don't.
Crochet?
Gosh, stop it. I'm old.
I was just checking. I was checking if it was meant something else.
I have no idea.
It sounds like you're merging crochet and kosher together. We'll leave that as it is. But
you mentioned your kids briefly.
Yes.
I know, like, this is a favourite question of Joel. But
is it who's my favourite child? Because
no,
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
I'll answer that off mic. I'll answer it off mic.
So you, last time you were on, you were on episode 20 and episode 21.
Really? Was that long ago?
My age, 21.
Oh my
Crazy. I
gosh.
know, it's such a crazy coincidence.
Incredible. You
What do you-
defied your age by 2. Sorry, go.
Yes.
And you mentioned the first one that Luke is now almost 22.
He's almost 22.
How do you find being a parent of, well, an adult, I'll put in inverted commas, but also,
Oh, so you've met Luca. Yeah.
hey, I will publicly say we just had youth camp and
Yes.
Luca
He's
was
ripping it up.
fantastic. He was amazing.
And he did his first youth talk.
He did his
too,
first
right?
youth talk last week,
So-
and it was also really, really
So
good.
this is what I heard. So
Legend.
Luca is a great son. He's my only one, so he's great. Doesn't
So he's
talk
the
a
best.
lot at home. Man, a few words. It's probably because, as Dean says, likes to hear the sound of it. Dean gets it. Probably don't get a word in with me. So he goes, oh yeah, I'm doing a youth talk. And I go, what's it about? And he's like, Noah. And I go, okay, I've got your opening joke. I go, you walk in there and go, Noah, I never even met her. And he's like, I'm not doing that. I go, you should. And he's like, the kids won't get it. I go, but it's funny. Like, he did not open with that joke.
No, I can say.
So here's my theory on raising children. I'm now becoming the Maggie Dent of this podcast. So in the same way, when the kids are little, you have to teach them like to walk and talk and do all this stuff. And it's a gradual thing, right? It's not like they just, like they're switch, right? And so it's the same with raising older children. It's not as though you have control of their life until they're 18 and then you go, it's all you now. It's a gradual thing you need to start, and it's hard. And so I think we talked about it last time, like I wanted Luca to do music. That's one of the only arguments I had. He's like, I'm not going to be an arty kid, Mum. I'm like, just one of you, please.
Just be arty.
Just one. I just want one theatre kid, please. And you have to let them live their life. And it doesn't start when they're 18. And it's really hard because you love them and you want what's best for them. But here's the kicker. As they get older, they know what's best for them. And you can guide them and show them and it's hard. And so he's 22, about to turn 22, and it's his life. And we talk about it. Fun fact, we actually went out to a comedy show and a group of young women who'd been at a bottomless brunch said, can we share the table? And I said, yeah, sure. And I said, oh, this is my son, Luca. And they're like, oh my gosh, we thought you were on a date. And I was like, no, this is my son. Like, because we don't look alike. Like, he looks like cuz, so we don't look alike. And he was like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. I'm like, oh my goodness, they think I'm like dating a 21-year-old, all right. And then I took photos and sent them to all his friends of him, like trying to talk to these. It was very funny. It's his life. And so he's like, what do you think I should do? And I can give him advice. But I think they say, like, there's, again, on the TikTok, people are like, oh, people say it's so much easier when kids get older. Nothing gets easier. It just changes the conversation. And I think what's hard is that our kids are dealing with things that we never. I don't know what it's like to be bullied on social media. I know what it's like to be bullied. That's a podcast for another time. But I don't have a frame of reference to say, well, this is what I did in that situation.
Yeah.
So that's hard. But you kind of go, and and I'll say things like, well, just be friends with them. That's apparently the worst thing you can say. I'm like, just turn it on. No, like, just say, I'm probably not the best because I'm so blunt with everything. But I think that, I'm there are moments, and I'm proud of, like, so for example, Tara's doing the HSC. and she's doing it and crushing it, and I've got no, like, I haven't told her to study. She knows what she's got to do. She knows where she wants to be. I'll let her get there on her own time. And I'm so proud of her because she's like, I'm going to the library. I go, okay, great. What do you need? You know, like, and she had trials and she got really sick. And so the only time she was like, there's this party. And I go, mate, no, you can't go. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, it's the only time that, you know. So yeah. My big thing is I'm a parent. I'm not perfect, and they would know that. And particularly, like, I've not been great, like I said. And go back to the dance comp. So Lani's standing on stage, wrong music plays.
Oh,
I'd sent the wrong song, and I was like, oh great. Anyway, she texts me. She's like, it's all right. I'm sorting it out. Da, da, da. And I came out. I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I'm giving you a free pass, Mum. You're going through a lot. I go, I am. Thank you. That's all you want.
Yeah.
You don't want to raise, I know what I usually say, I probably can't say this. You don't want to raise horrible people. You want to raise decent humans. But in order to do that, you need to let them be decent humans and not hold them. And learn the lessons. Like, when they're not decent, they have to learn. Like, I think that's sometimes harder, is to be like, what's the lesson here? Like,
yeah, and to take responsibility. That's something I'll be doing with my kids as well. Like, you can't really make change until you take responsibility for your mistake that you've made, I think.
And know the impact of what you do. Like, was having a conversation and it wasn't going well, and I'm not going to say who, but one of the kids was like rude to me, and instead of like blowing up, I just went real quiet, which that's always when Mum goes quiet. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And took a beat and I said, hey, that really hurt my feelings. What? Oh, I didn't mean to. I go, no, I'm sure you didn't mean to, but it did. And you want to be an adult. This is how adults have conversations. It's like, yeah. But it's weird now that they're like,
they're getting to, if Tara's finishing HSC.
Yeah, she turns 18. And, you know, making choices and decisions, and she's an adult in 3 months. Like, and it's exciting. Again, exciting, but scary. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the weird thing is, like, so it was a couple of years ago. We went out for work, and because I look so youthful, people can't believe that I have like a 20-year-old son.
You're on dates all the time.
Yeah, we also do go on dates all the time. I said, this is how old I am. I said, see that kid who's serving us alcohol at the bar? And they go, yeah. I go, that kid was the year below my son at school. And I said, watch. I said, excuse me, did you go to Engadine High? He goes, yeah. I go, do you know Luca Cousins? He goes, yeah, it was a year above me at school. I go, ladies and gentlemen, this is how old I am.
Is in the pudding.
This is how old I am. Yeah, no, but they're good.
Anything else you want to? Well, if talking about don't bring up reality TV.
What?
We've done so well. Go there.
You've done so well to avoid it.
What?
My question was going to be, we kind of have, and you may have already answered it, but I might repeat the question. Oh, maybe not, because it was episode, what did you say, 20 and 21?
Yeah.
Oh.
What would you tell, that you know now, what would you tell your younger Christian self? I don't think we asked you that back then.
Didn't.
That might be a good question to finish on.
Wow. Say it again so I can.
So now that you are 48 in 1 week, 48 plus 1.
Plus 1.
What do you know now as a Christian that you would like to tell your younger Christian self?
That's going to be great.
Oh, I like it.
And you're going to have connection and relationships for the rest of your life that will mean everything to you. And I think as a younger person, that's probably what I wanted,
You kind of crave that?
Yeah, not that I didn't have a family, because I did have a family, but I didn't have siblings. And for me, what I love about being a Christian is that family and that connection, and that you can get to the, like, we don't hang out a lot at all. In fact, the last time we hung out, episode 20 and 21.
Possibly.
We talk about things that on a level, like, there's no fluff, although there's been a lot of fluff in this, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but we can go from talking about that stupid painting to like really deep things. And I know that you care deeply about my response. Like, that's what I think is really great and has been one of the greatest gifts that being a part of God's family has given me, is that
The unity.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that connection.
Yeah.
And so that's what I tell my younger self, that it's worth it.
To be high on Jesus.
To be high on the spirit. You'll have to watch episode 20 and 21 or listen to understand that, cuz what she talks a bit. She likes the sound of her own voice. Dan gets it. Can the episode name be called Dan Gets It?
I'll go find the comment and then stick the YouTube link underneath it and go, yeah, you're 100% right, mate.
Yeah, Dan Gets It. I mean, also
Dino.
not the worst thing that's been written about me on the internet either.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
Gosh, have you got a couple of burner accounts, Braden?
Yeah, because that's what I've got time to do.
I once got told I look like because I used to do car reviews. Look them up;
I
they're
remember.
hilarious.
I have.
One comment was one guy was really obsessed with my feet and shoes.
That doesn't sound like the internet at all.
No. One guy was like, she looks like she ate that car, which and then I was like, so I mean, read the comments because they're funny. Then I also did write an article about being like a stage mum. And someone went, oh, you're one of those mothers.
Oh, wow.
But what I loved about it was one of the dads from the soccer team, mentioned his wife in the comment. So she hadn't made the comment, but he obviously was like, check it out. Check out
Look at this.
You're one of those. I'm like, I wish I was one of those mothers. I could care less. Anyway, yeah.
I like that. Enjoy the genuine connections that Jesus.
Well, we were born to be relational. Like, God made us to be in a relationship with him and with other people. And I think when you think about, so here's how I know that's true. I mean, I know it's true in everyday life, but so when I had this meeting about being let go, super calm. And then they were like, I started talking about my team, the people I work with, completely lost it. It's the people. It's always the people that mean the most. And what a gift from God that it is to have that. And yeah, so that's what I'd say to myself. It's worth it. Yeah.
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Thank you for coming on.
Anytime. I've got a lot of free time. We're going to make that salt. Can we have a cooking episode where we put the salt together? Can we please?
Yeah. We could probably film it down at MCC's kitchen, couldn't we?
Done.
Let's do a cooking
Just
show.
put the wireless mics on.
Can we please? Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah, sure. Let's make it happen.
That's the most
I
uncommittal.
think
Yeah,
you did
sure.
do one of those for one of your online youth things, didn't you? You made something.
Ruben did a cooking show for. I can't
Oh,
remember
for
what
late
that was
night.
for. That was for late night.
And Jabish did one.
Yeah, we did a cooking thing for
Jabish.
youth as well. I can't remember.
Jabish did making pretzels or something, but it was a
Oh
secret.
no, yeah, that was an on. No, that was Ruben as well. I think that was over Zoom.
Yeah.
No, but
Maybe I can add to the Soul Revival lore and do like a cooking in the kitchen with Nikki. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
let's make it happen.
All right.
While I'm watching Highway to
Print the
Heaven.
shirts.
In the kitchen with Nick. Any final words, Braden? It has been quite fun.
It's always excellent. Like you said, we don't get to hang out very much.
Yeah.
I probably haven't chatted to you since like Jai was away earlier this year.
Yes.
But I think, yeah, like you mentioned, it's the connections that you get to have through these. Like I just remember sitting down in January and being like, you got to go to the Sphere. Tell me what you two was like at the Sphere. That was amazing.
Oh,
And-
yeah, so you two at the Sphere.
Yeah, and it was
Wow.
like, yeah. So that's what I remember is sitting down with you and just like laughing so much.
Yeah.
So
Just so much
Thank you for
joy.
that.
Yeah. Find
Well, the one
joy.
that I always think about is that, remember at week away where we had lunch together and we sat with other people
Yeah.
talking all the way until dinner time.
Yeah.
That's
And just about all different things.
all heaps of, yeah, it was fun.
Again,
Very
it's
fun.
that bumping. So favorite game to do, people watching, is, and I think we talked about this last time, when you see a group of people that have no connection, they're not wearing the same, that's a group of Christians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the one thing that unites them you can't see, God.
Mm.
So you can always
Mm.
spot the pack of Christians.
Yeah, I think that's true. You're like, I think they're Christians over there.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
when they pray in the food court, that's also
Yeah. It's a dead giveaway. That's right.
that's like a
But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on again. So thank you.
anytime.
Very enjoyable. And thank you to Hudson as well
Yeah.
for his excellent efforts on, what was he find? The jet ski Jesus?
Jet ski Jesus. Oh, we need to make that happen too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Braden.
Thank you,
It's
Joel.
been great. Thank you to everyone listening or watching. It's been wonderful. And time to wrap up the chips and we'll finish with a one way.